afternoon. I'm your host, Don Burgess, and with us today is from the Bermuda Weather Service is Michelle Pitcher, the Deputy Director. Welcome, Michelle.
Hello, Don. How you doing? All righty.
Great,
So we're going
thank
to jump
you.
right in. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. We're going to jump right in with the latest information on Hurricane Fiona. So as of the noon advisory, Hurricane Fiona was currently about 711 nautical miles to the south-southwest of Bermuda. The closest point of approach within the next 72 hours is currently forecast to be 103 nautical miles to the west-northwest at 4 a.m. on Friday. Hurricane Fiona is currently a Category 3 hurricane and is expected to intensify to a Category 4 as it passes us. So yes, we've been watching this very closely all weekend long. Now, there's a little bit extra information that we have right now, but please remember it is a bit early for all the final details to be known. But Hurricane Fiona is shaping up to be more of a seas event, as hurricane force winds are currently forecast to remain just outside our area. Storm surge is likely to be 1 meter or 3 feet. And what that means is that the low-lying areas will be more prone to flooding, and we should expect more flooding with Fiona than we saw with Earl. Seas outside the reefs are going to be reaching a very high 45 feet in the western marine area as Fiona passes. The sustained winds are going to be in the strong tropical force wind range, 50 to 60 knots, with hurricane force gusts. But we cannot rule out the possibility of brief hurricane force winds, especially in the western marine area, western parishes, and any exposed and elevated places at the height of the passage. Please note, there is plenty of time for this forecast to change for the better or worse. So please keep up to date with the details. We also expect that we'll be issuing a tropical storm watch this evening. Right now, with the latest wind timings, it looks like later Thursday evening, the tropical storm force winds will be reaching the marine area and then soon will be on island. We are expecting sustained 50-knot winds going through the marine area and the island around the height of the storm. The passage of Fiona is 3 to 4 a.m. based on some of the varying forecasts we've had recently. And then later on Friday morning, we expect to see the winds settling down. Now, just like we saw with Earl, please expect a progression of watches and warnings. So we expect to see a tropical storm watch issued tonight. That'll likely be followed by a tropical storm warning tomorrow morning. And of course, we're going to be throwing in a hurricane watch in there as well. But really, the key point is the seas are going to be rough out there. It's going to be a bit more surge than we saw with Earl. Less of a wind event, definitely a seas event. But again, it's early, details can change. It wouldn't take much of a change in Fiona's forecast track to make conditions better or worse for us here in Bermuda.
With the seas being as rough as they are, that's especially a warning to boat owners to make sure everything's secured.
Yes, everybody needs to be prepared. Prepare for the worst, but we're going to hope for the best.
Now, as far as winds, what do you think is the major impact along those lines are going to be?
With the winds, really, the western marine area and the western parishes are going to see the brunt of the winds. People also need to be aware of their exposures. So winds are going to be out of the southwest and then slowly veer to the west. People really, if that's where the winds are coming at you, you don't have any walls or trees or anything to protect you, then you really got to pay attention to that. If you're in a valley, then you might be a little bit safer than those of us that live on hills.
What's your best estimate on how long this event's going to last?
Oh, that's going to be anybody's guess still. I can roughly just throw out at least about 12 hours. Could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less. Fiona is going to be speeding up as it leaves our area. It's going to be wrapped into a cold front that's going to be moving off the U.S. East Coast on Wednesday. So that's going to add another layer of complication to the forecast.
All right, Michelle, as always, we thank you and thank you for your work in the BWS as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.